You want to play RavenQuest but have no idea how to start as a beginner? Don't worry, this complete beginner guide will show you everything you need to know. From character creation to unlocking your first mount. Along the way I will break down the most important mechanics to help you level up fast, avoid common mistakes and get the perfect head start right from the beginning. At the end of the video I will share my level build that got me to level 15 in no time. So let's not waste any time, my name is Nickcoin, let's go! Alright, let's start creating our character. First of all, we have to choose one of these 8 archetypes for our character. There's the archery, the witchcraft, wizardry, spiritual, shadow, protection, holy or warfare. Each class has different abilities and therefore a different playstyle. And don't worry guys, don't get overwhelmed because you can change these archetypes at any time. For me, I choose the archery because it's pretty easy to play and a simple class to basically learn the game first. I will explain all the advantages of the different archetypes in more detail later, but for now let's finish the character creation. My name is Nickcoin and we are ready to go. Alright, here's our character, so let's start our adventure. At the beginning you start your adventure at home with your parents. First of all, a basic tutorial is about getting to know all the basic mechanics. And don't worry if something seems a bit confusing at the beginning, I will explain everything to you in detail and I can promise you that over time you will understand everything very well step by step. Don't get overwhelmed, just enjoy it. We just received our first weapon. For me as an archer, I got a bow. Next, we can try out the bow on the scarecrow. And don't forget, it's our birthday, so we are gathering a few strawberries for mom to finish the birthday cake. And yeah, congratulations, you have already learned the two primary gameplay mechanics in RavenQuest: fighting and gathering. And we just leveled up, so that means we got our first skill point. In RavenQuest, each archetype has its own skill tree that you can spend your points on. At the beginning, you train your main competence. For me as an archer, it is the skill Window Arrow. With this ability, I shoot an arrow that deals damage and every third arrow deals additional 50% damage. This spell costs 4 mana and I get 20 ether power, which is spent on strong skills, but more on that later. Slowly but surely we become familiar with the world and become curious. We are progressed through the story and we are rewarded with our first set of armor. A helmet, chest armor, legs and boots. On all of these 4 items we have base stats of 1 defense. Furthermore, we have a set bonus and this gives us extra 8% crit chance and reduces the duration of stun slow snares by 20%. Here you can also see our bow with 4 attack base damage. The 2 most important stats in RavenQuest are attack power and defense power. Currently both are at 28 points. Also there is a slot for a fishing tool, rings, but more on that later. We don't only have equipment, we also have stats. So here once again our 2 power stats, attack power and defense power. And here on the right we have 5 more attributes we can spend points on. Like for example vitality, might, intelligence, dexterity and wisdom. Vitality definitely makes you more tanky. Might is a really nice attribute for melee classes because you can increase your weapon power and your health regeneration. On the other hand, we have intelligence. This is like the attribute for mages because you can increase your spell power and your mana regeneration. Dexterity increases your haste. That means you have lower cooldown on your abilities. And last but not least, we have wisdom, and this attribute is for all the healers because you can improve your healing power and your mana regeneration. I do have 4 points available, so I just put them all into might to increase my weapon damage. And don't worry, once again, you can reset them here at any time. And here's the customization tab, so you can change the color. Unfortunately, I don't have any outfits or skins, but yeah. I think it's time to actually start our big adventure. So let's be brave and explore the big world of RavenQuest. For this, we leave the starter tutorial and set off on our adventure on the big sea. Not quite as expected, we ended up stranded on the coast. On our journey we meet Fritz, who gives us our first quest. Our task is to search the slums and kill 5 of the rats. Then we should go into the basement and kill a rat there. Bam, easy, check. Fritz is quite happy with our work and we received our first ring as a reward. But we still have a lot of work to do. The goblins have to leave the area, so we have no choice but to negotiate with him. It's not that easy because he insists on receiving his withheld payment, which is hidden in a box in Fritz's cabin. Ha, easier than expected, quest completed. However, our help is needed again by a hungry lady. This time we are supposed to hunt a boar using a quest item. We can find this in our inventory and then under the quest tab. Voila. We quickly go home with the fresh loot, but here we are sent to Marcella, who we find deep in the slums. Marcella helps us with our cooking skills and creates a juicy kebab from our meat. Finally, we have completed all the quests in the slums. Now we can finally set off and explore the capital, RavenQuest. First, we should talk to Senia to sell all our junk. For this, we will receive silver, which is the in-game currency in RavenQuest. Oh, nice. We also received a Raven pack, which we will open soon, but first I have to speak to a priest. Oh, we are warmly welcomed and introduced to one of the most important in-game mechanics, the community farmland. As I said in the beginning, RavenQuest consists of fighting and farming. The farmland is available for each player individually, where they can carry out various farming activities, such as farming, herbalism, woodcutting, husbandry, or breeding. We plant our first potato, which is provided for free in the tutorial. Now we have to breed a pig, which we can find under the husbandry tab. Zack, and oink oink. Easy. Now of course we have to harvest our potatoes. The whole thing works with F, and then we have to solve a little mini game. Good job, the same thing with the pig, and congratulations, you have successfully completed your first farming activities on your farmland. Remember, farming plays a very big role in RavenQuest, as it is a good way to gain experience to increase your level, collect resources you need for your professions, or ingredients you need for your trade packs. The farmland is therefore a very important component, which is why I have created a separate video about this topic. Okay, let's move on. The monk farmer is also very proud of us, and we have received the trade pack as a reward. Ooh. Then let's see what we can do with such a trade pack. To do this, we have to go to the harbor in the west. Here we can now use the resources we have received from farming on our land to create our first trade pack. But be careful. Trade pack runs is another important element in RavenQuest. You have to bring the trade pack from A to B and you are rewarded with silver. But it's not that simple, because you can get ambushed on the way. So that means PvP is activated, and if you die, the trade pack is gone. Alright, let's bring this freshly crafted trade pack to our friend Richard. And now it's time to prepare for our next big adventure. But first we should buy some food and extra drinks. Phew, fresh air again. Next we need to talk to Jensen outside of RavenQuest. On our way there we are entering a dynamic event which can appear in different places from time to time. This event will be completed together by all players who actively participate in the progress and thus share experience and rewards accordingly. Jensen is already waiting for us in the building. He reports a problem with beds in his basement, which we quickly resolve. Just one more small request and we have satisfied Jensen. He rewards us with a copper chain, another piece of equipment, and sends us straight to the west deep in the mines to his friends Uga Harun. This dwarf doesn't seem to be happy at all and asks us for our help in the mine. For sure, no problem. We get to know the next gathering profession, mining. There we go. Now quickly rush to a Domolik and hand over the package. Reporting. Boom! Our first milestone. Level 10. Congratulations. Our mate Durik gives us our first weapon, which we can choose freely. For me, I definitely picked the bow because I'm an archer. But be careful here, you can also choose any other weapon that suits your playstyle. We can then craft our bow ourselves at the carpentry station using the resources provided. To do this, we now have to click craft item. And now we have just to fill up the progression bar by pressing key 1. Once this bar is at 100%, our bow is successfully made. Alright, so now it's infusion time. Let's open up the infusion menu. And here we can see all the available items and our equipped items, and we are going to upgrade our fresh bow, and currently we have 4 base attack, and now we can sacrifice these infusions, and for this one we can get 10 experience each. Just drag and drop, and now you can see the improvement here. The rarity is increased and we got +2 attack damage. Actually, we are just 60 infusion points off to increase our bow one more time, so I'm going to use a little bit more, and bam, we can do this upgrade for 1.9k silver. Let's do it, infuse. Nice, so now we can equip our T1 bow with 8 attack base damage. And this already increased our attack power to 57. Okay, now head in the quest and get out the dark cave. Oh, we haven't claimed our rewards for level 10 yet. Raven cards. What's this? Nice, we just received Raven cards, so let's check this out. So as you can see, my collection is empty. I don't have any collected cards, but I have a few packs we can open. And here's our chance to get some rare cards, so let's open up. Raven cards have a special use. They can enhance our abilities. For example, Iceforge Storm Gunner. This card has an uncommon rarity and it is used by the archery to improve the ability Wind Arrow. So if you want to activate your Raven cards, you have to open up the skill tree, and here you can switch to cards, and now you can easily select the right card for your respective ability. Okay, good work so far. We've learned a lot of the basics and we already reached level 10. But now it's time to work even harder, because I really want to unlock our first mount, for which we need to complete a certain quest which we reach around level 15. On our way there we kill 1 or 2 bosses. On our list is Captain Crook, Captain Bone, and last but not least, Warlock and Sandos. We're getting stronger and stronger. 11, 12, 13, 14. And finally we can start our quest series for our mount called Immortal Enemies. And all we have to do now are 3 tasks. First, kill almost every hawk I see. Second, destroy and burn down the whole base. And third, kill the hawk warlord. Check. Back to Bruma, turn in the quest. We made it. We got a special egg. We can also choose a new helmet. For me, I picked the leather gear again. So let's head back home to the capital RavenQuest. This time we use the teleport, it's much quicker. Off to the weaving station to finally complete the quest series, and who would have thought? Our egg has hatched and we received our first mount. Believe me, you don't want to travel without a mount anymore. Such a nice feeling. Oh, by the way, let's take another look at our skill tree. As you can see, I choose 3 different archetypes. First, archery for good damage output. Second, warfare for good melee damage and also good sustain. And third, protection if we need to go a little bit more tanky. In my opinion, this is the best solo starter build because you can easily quest without any problems. And remember my words at the beginning, don't worry, you can change this anytime. Feel free to test as much as you want. Congratulations, you have completed the beginner guide. You're now familiar with the basic mechanics of RavenQuest. You already reached level 15 and unlocked your first mount. So if the video was helpful, I really appreciate the thumbs up. And also subscribe for more RavenQuest content. And if there's any questions left, feel free to write them down in the comments. And to be honest, now the adventure actually really begins. RavenQuest has an incredible amount of content, such as the adventure board, Rangers Company, and so on. I would also like to show you how you can start earning money. More about this in my advanced RavenQuest guide. My name is Nickcoin, thanks for watching, take care adventure.